It's always something happening when I need to upload my videos, right? Every single Thursday something happens. I don't understand why, but you know what? We're here. It's Saturday. It's only 2 days. It's okay. Let's continue. If you guys don't know me, my name is Angelique Crystal. I'm a master loctician and an owner of locdandpretty.com. It's a website catered to all locks where I provide services, products, accessories, ebooks, whatever it has to do with locks. That's what I provide. And remember, just watching my video, you get a lovely little discount when you add it at checkout. And I just wanted to do a quick recap of what I saw this week in our lock community before getting into the video. So I just wanted to bring this as an open discussion. I noticed lately that there's been a lot of videos where in the lock community where they're like, oh, this is danger, this is this is that. Coming to the lock side, it requires this, it requires that. And the latest video I saw was don't pick lint out of your hair, well, your locks. It'll cause thinning, breakage, etc., etc. And I just started thinking, I'm like, why is it starting to be almost now a trend of watch out for what happens with locks? Like, I remember it going to everyone wanting locks, then people wanted lock extensions, and then it went to people combing out locks, and now we're at the more dangers with locks. And I don't know if that's helping the community or actually deferring or deterring, I don't know what the, just making them not want to come to the lock side. Now for me, I would also deem it as like a mini consultation where you let everyone know what's going to happen with their journey, and you also give them the bad, what could possibly happen. But it seems like almost everything is causing breakage or thinning, or people are improperly, doing starting your lock journey, etc., etc. Whatever it is, I'm just noticing less of a trend of getting locks, more of a trend of this is the danger of locks. Now, you know who doesn't do that as often? Every other hair service. You don't see people saying, hey, if you get a wig, well, I mean, honestly, I'm saying just some, you don't see it all the time, but you don't see someone who installs weaves saying, hey, you might have breakage if you keep it on for too long, or this is what happens when your hair doesn't get moisture, or what happens when you add glue to the skin. No one is saying that. And these other services, or even just blow dry silk presses, same thing, flat irons, everything else, extensions, crochet braids, haircuts, like no one's saying the dangers as much as they're talking about the lock community and the dangers of getting locks. Now, mind you, it could be just my timeline because I am a master loctician and I find problems and I fix them with answers. I'm not sure if that's really just my timeline, but it's been so frequently because it's been in the groups I'm in. It's there's been a problem of lately affording locks. Like, people are like, I don't want to spend $200 to $300, but you will go and buy a $700 wig. I don't know the math, but honestly, I'm just going to say this is just, it's okay to think like that. It is confusing everybody. That's why people are going back and forth. And if we are on one accord of just taking care and maintaining locks and at least letting them know what happens, yes, but not every single video be about breakage and damage and this is problems, you can't have this, you can't do this, texture. If it's not a debate on every single topic with locks, I think we can excel to a point where at least almost every other person, one half of everyone has locks. I'm just saying. And I'm also saying this because I love locks, so don't mind me, this is just an opinion. But just let me know, have you guys noticed that has been happening lately? Definitely let me know in the comments. What do you think about that? But as of right now, we're gonna get into a video of why I became a loctician.
0, 1, let's go. started.
Okay guys, we're embracing the sun today. On my skin it is reflecting. There's a cloud in the way, so you need to stop because I know the sun is about to go behind this building and we won't be seeing this glamorous shot anymore. But anyways, well, today's topic is about how I became a loctician. Yes, this is a story time, so you know, get some popcorn. I ended up doing a video. I did do it Thursday, of course, and just didn't upload. And I was like, you know what? Let's try again Saturday, and let's do it quicker because I did have a long video, and I think my tablet was like, I can't do this. But we're here. We're gonna make this shorter. Key points, and maybe you're going through the same thing as maybe you will go through the same thing as I did, but it'll be fine. Life goes on. Here we are. Okay. So it all started. I was younger than 16 because I remember what I said at 16, and I just was into the beauty industry. I was into the entertainment industry. I started camera work around like 4th grade. I was a cameraman, camerawoman, and I just always did things in just behind the camera, and I always did beauty, but the only thing is that I didn't, I wasn't like fully masked in it. I only liked it. I didn't do anything. I didn't make my hair, and I didn't do any of that. So I remember at 16, I stated to my mom, and I was like, oh, I want to be a hairstylist, yeah, typical dream that people have. And my mom said, you would not make any money from that. You should be a doctor. And mind you, I lived by those words for about 10 years after. I was 16. No, 25, sorry. That's 9 years, sorry. And that stuck with me. And I was like, you know what? Then I'll find something else to do. Because, you listen to your elders and you're like, okay, they know the way, they've been here before. So I won't be a doctor. Just because I'm smart doesn't mean I want to be a doctor. But I was confused at what I wanted to do for like the next 9 years. I had trouble working at jobs because it just wasn't what I wanted to do. I have walked out on many jobs. Yeah, there was a lot of those. And I would say I had close to it feels like 50 jobs, but I probably had like 30 jobs, but I was just always, and that's why I'm so good at resumes and getting the job immediately. I just had so much practice into getting jobs, even when they weren't in what I wanted to do. I knew how to get a job easily. And I think after I became pregnant, it was 2016, I was pregnant with Lily, and I ended up just something clicked in me, and I'm pretty sure it's the mom intuition or something like that. And I ended up saying, I would not be like my mother, because, I had that type of typical mother-daughter relationship. If you know, you know. And I just was like, I'm never going to be like her. And I was like, I'm going to do what I always wanted to do. And that's be a hairstylist. So I ended up going to school. I think Lily was probably 1. She has to be 1 and some change, or just turned 1 or something like that, because the program was about 9 months or 12. It was one of those. I can't even remember. Jeez. And I ended up, so I started in Springfield, took classes. Back in the day, all this that I have, non-existent. I didn't have nothing to my name, but I ended up going to school, and it was hard because I wanted to do so much stuff and I couldn't even afford it. Oh my gosh, this is cringe. But I ended up, because I remember I had to borrow a suitcase because I didn't even have a bag or anything for my tools. And I had to bring in this big giant polo bag that I got from Savers. and it was so giant, but that's the only thing I had. So so embarrassing. Oh God, awkward, embarrassing, bringing in a giant polo suitcase with all my little bit of items. But hey, and life was life, and of course, and I remember specifically, I needed to complete that school. Like, I wanted to give up because I was just like, this is hard. I don't even want to be here near all these people. So I ended up getting a job at Amazon, because I think Amazon came to Boston. No, it probably was already there, but it was fairly new. And I remember I'm going to get a job, and I was like, I found out about Lyft, and I was like, I'm going to do Lyft too. And those are like, you could kind of work with your schedule with all that, including school. School was at 9 a.m. to 4. And this is how my schedule was. It was in the morning I'll wake up, I'll go to school 9 through 4. I'll go home, take another nap from I'll probably take like a 1 or 2 hour nap, because I have work at 9 through overnight. So 9 through maybe, I think it was probably like 5 or 6. It had to be one of those, because I remember I got home before 7. Yeah, before 7 a.m. Sleep that 1 hour and a change, and then I would live almost close to the school when I had to move and everything, and I ended up sleeping for about 2 hours a day in school, while I was in beauty school, just to make ends meet back in the day. I mean, it feels like today too, but honestly, back in the day was a lot harder and a lot cheaper for some. I don't know. We didn't have any money. Jeez. And I completed that. And would I recommend doing that now? Hell no, because I can't remember. I think that's why my brain's messed up. But not sleeping and just being a part of postpartum depression at that time, and then being on a survival mode, there was a lot that happened. But I remember specifically graduating, and I was so happy. But I will say, before graduating, I did only have one person to do their hair. It was one of my friends that had locks, and I was doing color. Everyone was mad because it went over the time. Oh, it was 3:30. It wasn't 4. Because I remember around 4, I was done around 4. And they were just so mad that they were there like 30 minutes after. And I totally understand. But when I tell you it was a microaggression type of anger, I was just, because we didn't have no classes on black hair or anything. So we had about 1 page for everything we do, and that's it. But I had to learn everything on my own. It was horrible. But after I graduated, it was great. My first first gig, actually, after graduating was a photo shoot. And that was great because I met my first client there. He's in my ebook, and he's one of my clients that still come to me now. And it was great. I think we met in 2018. Yes, because 2019. Okay. Yep, we met in 2018. And I was doing hair at another salon, but I hated it, honestly. Oh my God, I hate physically working in the salon with other people. And I did do a couple of other salon jobs after graduating. And the last 2 jobs I really worked was Ulta Beauty and Sephora. So I could do makeup, and I could do straight hair. I worked at another salon. I could do straight hair. I could do blow. I could do everything but our hair. So that was fun too. So I ended up, it was 2019. Yes, I remember, because COVID started happening. October, I remember I was Sephora. I was at Sephora, and I was just like, I hate this place. I hate everything. I'm one of those people that really hate everything. And I ended up, I think there was rumors about a virus, but it wasn't like fully anything. And October, at the end of October, I met Debbie off a Craigslist ad of a salon suite. And, she showed me everything. She's like, this is what we do here. This is what you can do as a business owner. And I was like, oh my God, this is happening. Like, I'm actually getting a business, like in my own salon, like this is a salon suite. But yeah, I was just like, oh, that's amazing. And I can't believe I'm doing this. This is so scary right now. My heart and all the negative emotions, everything was there. And I specifically remember 2 weeks after, because it turned November, and I was just like, hey Debbie, I'm gonna back out of this whole thing. I can't do it because I don't know anything about this and I don't have any clients. So I would fail miserably before even opening. And yeah, I quit. And then she's like, you didn't even start yet. And mind you, I didn't realize that I didn't start yet, but I was just like, you know what, I'll hold out to it. The deposit was only like $350, and I was just like, this is a lot of money at the time, guys. That at the time, I was getting paid. I was so part-time, and life was life in at that moment, because I think I was making 200. I was working at the blow dry bar. I forgot about it. The yellow one. I was working there, and because everything was so part-time and we had to take care of Lily, like it's hard when you don't have daycare. And I was making, I remember one paycheck, it said $236 a week, and I was like working a lot. And I think I was so tired of that, because I was just like, I can't do what I need to with $200 and some change a week. And that's what, $1,000 a month or less. Taxes and everything. But I just remember I just had enough. I was like, I can't do this. So I'm gonna continue with Debbie. And then January happened. Yeah, I was still working at Sephora. January hit, where they're like, oh, this is a virus that's actually killing everyone. And I was like, oh, geez. I'm in the beauty industry. Like, I'm near everything. I'm near people who also don't know how to perfectly. They don't even know how to properly sanitize anything already. And they're using the samples, and more people are coming, not even wiping it down and using a sample. Everyone's just putting lipstick on, and then another person puts lipstick on. It was nasty. Sephora's nasty, just letting y'all know. Hated it. But I learned a lot, so I don't hate too much of it. And I got a lot of free stuff. So I ended up I think we got on lockdown around March. It was talks about it in January, February, and then March I think it got really bad, like really, really bad. And then so they was like, everyone go home, because it was March 17th. Yeah, they said everyone go home and do not come back until we let you know. And so I went home, and I was just like, because I think Trump became president too. So I thought, Trump was going to put us in war with Russia or something like that, And I was like, of course, when I want to change my life, the world is ending. So I said, if I get out of this, I'm going to make one of the best salons, and I'm going to be like a really good salon owner and salon stylist. And I think it was March, because I opened up in June 24th, I opened up in 2020. This is all in 2020. And I think people were going back in May. So we was in March from lockdown. I locked myself down, because I'm not going outside. But I locked myself down from Sephora in March all the way to June. I did not really go outside or do anything. And I said, that whole time of lockdown, what I did was, what everyone did at the time, they did a lot of studying, they did a lot of research. There was a lot of programs being given away for like $20 or something. And we all got the stimulus, so we all paid for that. And I made sure I did a ton of classes on hairstyling, business management. I did everything. And I ended up, by the way, I did graduate from college with business management in 2017 or 8, one of those years. And but I still didn't know what to do until I had Lily, when I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do beauty school. So that was in 2018. Yeah. So at the time, yeah. So I'm studying, I'm doing all this, I'm having extra classes, I'm doing so many. When I tell you, I did like maybe 6 classes all week. So 6 classes a day, where I was listening, and this was before podcasting and all that. So it was intense. Like I bought books, I bought every single thing. When I look at my notes, I have stuff that I didn't even look at. I just literally downloaded it for later so that I could read it later. And I'm going to read it now again. So I found so many things, and I was certified in so many things. I was certified in lashes too. So that's another thing. I took everything, because I didn't know what I wanted to do in hair. but I knew I wanted to do hair. So backstory. The only reason why I knew about locks is because 2017, I remember, Springfield, we my husband had locks. Someone started his hair, and of course we couldn't afford the retwist at the time, so I combed out his hair. He said you could do that, and I was like, I didn't know you could do that. I thought they were permanent. So I combed out his hair, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And I had like crochet hair, but I couldn't afford the crochet hair. And I was like, I'm gonna make this into extensions, and I think they were about this long. No, they were a little bit long right here, yeah. And they were the thick ones, and this is I was sewing at the time, so I knew about crochet needles and everything. I put 3 of them together before this whole thing where they're selling it now. And I remember making them. I put them in my hair. It was horrible, but I felt accomplished. And now fast forward, that's how I knew about locks, and I was like, okay, I know how to do locks because I had my husband. So I ended up opening on June 24th, 2020, and best day of my life. And of course, still COVID was around, and we had our precautions and everything. But I opened up my salon, and I was doing when I tell you everyone's hair, I was doing everyone's hair. And I did that for about 1 or 2 months, I think, because it was still August when I started taking way more lock clients. The reason why I stopped doing everyone else's hair is because, this is my opinion when I say this, but everyone who doesn't have locks has been crazy to me. People with locks they have been the most chilled, down to earth, happy-go-lucky people. Maybe it's because their routine is so minimal, and maybe because it's themselves, it's them natural selves in their natural hair. But I kid you not, this is how I knew, and that's why I stopped taking other clients. So basically, people come in, they got their braids, they don't buy enough braiding hair, and I'm like, okay. And then of course I'm not proficient in all the other stuff except for white hair. So I'm like, I can't really do our hair, but I could do, if you have a white friend, I got her. But I ended up, I wasn't into braiding like that. I didn't even like braids myself, just because I just couldn't do them. So I was just like, that's gonna be hard, but I'll practice that later. And I ended up, my last weave client, I should have seen the signs, mind you, should have seen the signs. And, she was showing the signs in the text. We had such a long conversation over the last 2 days. And I was just like, I was being nice. And I'm like, why are we still talking? You got the appointment. But I didn't know. I think I was trying to make her feel good and etc. Because she's like, I don't want to do it. She was very, you could tell about depression was there. I ended up, we ended up having the appointment. About 2 days later, we had such a great appointment. Hair was done, everything was flipped, curled, etc. That was great. And then the next day, and mind you, I'm like, if anything happens, please call me, And the next day, this is before Ghost Bond glue too. So, we had those cheaper glues. And I'm pretty sure it was out at the time. I just couldn't afford it yet. And I remember specifically the next day, she ended up calling me. She's like, oh, a little bit. She sent me a picture too. She's like, oh, this lifting. And I'm like, okay, understandable. You probably sweated, or there wasn't enough glue, moisture in the, from showering. If you didn't cover your hair, I had everything. All right, y'all need to get out. I'm telling a story.
Can I type in here with
No, I'm sorry for that. So, where was I? Oh yes, the lady. So, I'm like, I'm gonna help you. Don't worry about it. Either you can come to the shop like now, or after I had a client at the time. So I was like, after I'm done with my client, or I could book you another time, but just, leave it. And, she continued. When I tell you, this lady, she was calling me, texting me, showing me pictures. Okay, understand. I got you. I heard you. We was on the phone together. And then it started turning into harassment. And then every new picture, you just see her with her hand more in there. And then you just see her wig. You see her wig off and her angry. Why are you taking pictures showing me this? But so, you know, she started angrier texts, and then she started calling me, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, like, because I'm still new at servicing. It's within the first 2 months. And she's just like, you can't do hair. I want my money back, her $50. I want all that back, etc., etc. And I was like, okay, you know, I'll help you. I'll do all this. Just, I have a client. And when I tell you, we took a mini break, like lunch break. And this lady went on all my social medias at the time. And she, on each picture or wherever I had anything, she said, this girl can't do hair. She started harassing me. She started calling me, texting me more, sending me videos, oh my God, it was like a nightmare. Well, it was a mini nightmare, you know, the ones you wake up from fast. So I was just like, oh my God, this is crazy. So of course, you know, I blocked her from everything, and I think that was it. That was my, like, honestly, I had a few weave clients. They were fine. They were perfectly fine, but she has traumatized me so much where I physically couldn't do other services because of that experience. Because mind you, you know, this wasn't like, you know, a very expensive wig or anything. It was one of those wigs where you're like, you know, they didn't spend no money on it. You know, the lace, it was beat up lace. This is 2020. So it's not like the lace was amazing. It was a lot for me, and I was just like, hell no, I'm not taking that again. No. So yeah, I think from that experience, like I said, it was within like June, July. Yeah, because I remember before August 18th, that's when I started taking a lot more. I will say I had a questionable characters in the beginning, within those first 3 months of, you know, getting clientele and everything, learning who I wanted to do, what I wanted to provide for them. And I think from those first 3 months, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna stick to locks. It's much easier. I'm gonna learn everything about locks. That's when I decided, what else, how can I scale my business? And it was a few things. And that's what I do now. First, I heard of a master loctician, and I was like, at the time, I was like, oh, I'm never going to become a master loctician because, you know, it's a lot of time, effort, education, and I just don't want to go back to school. And then I heard, you know, scaling a business is actually very essential. And I was I don't know other lock salons. I really don't pay attention to everyone else. I really mind my business and I keep to myself. So I didn't know about other lock salons, and I eventually started knowing about them. Okay. I eventually started knowing about them in 2020, the end of 2020, actually. Maybe 2021, early, because at the time still COVID was happening, so nothing was about, oh, come to the salon and stuff like that. So I started noticing there was more and more lock salons popping up, and I was like, oh, that's really actually dope. And I was like, oh, I'm like technically one of them, but I need a scale to a brand of like really almost not really unreachable heights or anything like that, but I wanted to establish my name in the lock community. And technically I'm still trying to do that now. It's honestly, it has been very hard, only based on my mindset. It's only me against me. It's no one else. So I will blame this on myself. But at the time of scaling, I needed to be a master loctician. I needed to have my own product line. And I think there was one more product line, master loctician. I forgot what else. I'm always having brain farts when I'm doing this. That's why I write everything down so I can just read. But honestly, that's what I did within, maybe it was offering more services. Not the master loctician per se, but it was more like, let me get down to a deeper science with locks. So because I had the cosmetology license, I definitely utilize that a lot more when it comes to the education of locks. And then being a master loctician, besides you being proficient in everything and having the high quality education, the standard, etc., I think there was one more thing, and it has to be the master of all locks. So I knew how to do micro locks at the time before I even considered sister locks. And once I found out a real master loctician definitely is the master of all locks, definitely you can be, you have to be, sorry, you have to be certified in sister locks. And I was just like, well, that's another goal. And of course I had my class last year. Now the only thing now, I've been calling myself a master loctician before I even no, I'll say around this time. No, yeah, because God, brain fart. Around like January of 2022, I think that's the height of everything, when I was like, I'm gonna be a master loctician and I'm gonna learn about sister locks. And they're not cheap. I definitely know why that's their brand. I've been through the class and everything, but for me, I was already slightly doing them, and I just needed to know the ways of how they're doing everything. And honestly, I was like, oh, this is the secret. Okay. I mean, that should probably be another video, but I mean, for me, I'm just like, okay, this was it. Okay, anyone can learn this, but so I think that's why I didn't get fully certified yet, because I kind of been already doing them in a way, and I'm like, I haven't really gotten any sister lock clients like that. I do have my retie clients that I already had before that, but I haven't, I mean, no one has really reached out because they're just afraid of pricing, and it's just like, wait till your taxes then. But also, and learn how to budget. So we have to, I haven't really been promoting them like that, honestly, because I'm more like a maintenance loctician. I prefer to fix problems and do installs. I'm not about the retwists. I'm not about, I think the retwist and styles, they are there. I can still do them, but I'm definitely more of a maintenance person where I'm fixing locks, which I really enjoy. I really enjoy squeezing out everything, having dirty water, washing your hair out, doing a magical makeover, and your locks, you looking so clean walking out. So that's definitely my specialty, which I really love, but I also love doing the impossible. So I do a lot of reattachments. So I think, yeah, that's about it. I definitely really enjoyed being a loctician. It's such an easy job. That's why when I created the Locd and Pretty Academy, I'm just like, anyone can do this, and it's such an easy thing to do. It could be a career as well. It turned into my career, so I'm just like, anyone can definitely do this, and with the right training. That's why I said I created that. And tomorrow is the class. I'm super excited. It's gonna be a great thing. I don't even know if I mentioned my product line. I did do my product line. But there was a third thing. I did it in my other video. Jeez, see how that comes out of nowhere? Ladies, I'm just saying, after pregnancy, your brain it's up here in the clouds sometimes. Just work on memory skills, okay? Other than that, yeah, that's how I became a loctician. Obviously I've been scarred by something where I'm just like, I'm not doing that ever again. And there is ways to actually be a loctician and not go to beauty school. So you'll know all that in my loctician book. So yeah, it's been a great experience though. I'm perfectly fine with the experience I had, because then I wouldn't be in the position I am now. Other than that, if you have any questions about being a loctician, or even just a home loctician, a lock stylist, anything like that, you could definitely let me know in the comments. Definitely I'll keep you updated with everything, because now we are starting our class tomorrow, and we are going to have such a great time. Next week's video is a recap of our first class, or even just how I did the rubric and everything. Oh, I'm so excited. When you guys see what I wrote, you're just like, oh, this is the ultimate class, because I don't know. I think it's how detail oriented I am, where you're going to get every little thing compared to the big picture stuff. You want to do a lock install? Here's how to do it. Done. No, we're going to figure out the science between that. where what, how, and who can have the lock installed, things like that. Sorry. Other than that, that's what you're gonna see in next week's video. And oh my God, I'm excited again. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I can't wait for tomorrow. It's gonna be great, and definitely keep safe. Keep safe. I don't even. Stay safe. And just, spread some love. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video.